Okay, so hello everyone. It's so nice to see you again. So now we're going to talk about the oil and gas logistics with me, Ahmad Shauki, with student ID number 25 145 and 15 from oil and gas logistics major at Polytechnic of Energy and Mineral Acamigas. So as we know, the energy plays a crucial role in our daily lives, from the fuel we use in transportation, to electricity generation, to industrial manufacturing. Oil and gas remain fundamental to global economic activity. However, behind every liter of fuel and every cubic of gas that delivered to consumers like us, there's a complex logistic system working continuously. This system ensures that energy flows safely, efficiently, and reliably from production sites to end users. And so, in this video, we will explore what oil and gas logistics is, why it is important, and how the supply chain works, the transportation methods involved, infrastructure requirements, challenges, and what else is faced by the industry, the regulatory frameworks, the economic impacts, and finally, why effective logistics management is essential for global energy security. Let's begin. So now let's begin with the definition of oil and gas logistics. So oil and gas logistics involves the entire process of planning, managing, and delivering oil and gas products from exploration sites to end consumers. So it is a part of the broader supply chain and includes the procurement, receiving, storage, transportation, and distribution. And in addition, logistics also manages the flow of goods, services, money, and information in simple terms. Logistics ensures that the right product in the right quantity with the right quality arrives at the right place at the right time and at the right cost. For example, crude oil is extracted from an offshore platform must be transported to a refinery, and after refining, products like gasoline, gas oil, diesel, or jet fuel must be delivered to fuel stations, airport, or industrial facilities. And each step requires a coordination, planning, scheduling, safety procedures, and infrastructure support. And without logistics, oil and gas resources will remain unused at their source. So, logistics plays a vital role in maintaining global energy supply. The oil and gas industry operates on a massive scale across continents and oceans. Any disruption in logistics, whether to transportation failure, port congestion, or geopolitical conflict, can interrupt supply chains, and such disruptions can lead to fuel shortage, price increase, inflation, and even economic instability. So, logistics plays a vital role in maintaining global energy supply. The oil and gas industry operates on a massive scale across continents and oceans. Any disruption in logistics, whether to transportation failure, port congestion, or geopolitical conflict, can interrupt supply chains, and such disruptions can lead to fuel shortage, price increase, inflation, and even economic instability. And for example, when a major shipping routes are blocked or when pipelines are damaged, the global oil prices often rise immediately. This demonstrates how insensitive energy markets are to logistics performance. And therefore, efficient logistics is not just an operational necessity, it is a strategic requirement for national and global energy security. And now let's talk about the transportation mode. So the transportation is one of the most critical aspects of oil and gas logistics. There are several main transportation methods. First, pipelines. So pipelines are the most efficient and cost-effective method for transporting large volumes of oil and gas over long distances. They operate continuously and have a power operational cost compared, compared to other methods. And second is the tankers and ships. So oil tankers transport crude oil and refined products across oceans between countries and continents. The liquefied natural gas or LNG is transported using specialized LNG carriers at the extremely low temperature, or it also can be compressed, so it's called CNG. And the third is rail transport. So rail or train is often used when pipelines are unavailable or when flexible routing is required. And the fourth is trucks. So trucks are typically used for short distance delivery, such as distributing fuel from shortage terminals to gas stations. So each transportation mode has its advantages and challenges. For example, pipelines require a high initial investment but offer a long-term efficiency. And tankers provide a global connectivity but face a risk such as piracy or port congestion. So choosing the appropriate transportation method depends on the cost, distance, volume, safety, and geographical conditions. So apart from the transportation modes, the oil and gas logistics depend heavily on the infrastructure. This includes the pipeline networks, the storage tanks, the export and import terminals, ports, pumping stations, LNG regasification terminals, and this infrastructure acts as the backbone of the entire logistics system. For example, the storage tanks help balance supply and demand. When the production exceeds demand, oil can be stored, and when demand increases suddenly, stored products can be released to stabilize the supply. And also the ports and terminals enable the international trade, connecting the producing countries with consuming nations. And without a strong infrastructure, distribution would be inefficient, slow, and vulnerable to disruptions. And during the whole process, oil and gas logistics faces the numerous challenges. One major challenge is the extreme weather. So in this condition, offshore operations may be affected by the storms, hurricanes, or high waves. And another challenge is the route security. Pipelines may face risks such as just theft, the sabotage, or geopolitical conflict. And also, in this IT era, the cybersecurity is also becoming increasingly important. Modern logistics systems rely on digital monitoring and automated control systems. So cyber attacks can disrupt the operation and compromise safety. And additionally, environmental risks such as oil spills can cause severe ecological damage and financial losses in economically. So because of these challenges, the companies must implement risk management strategies, the emergency response plans, and insurance coverage and advanced monitoring system. And oil and gas industry is also strictly regulated. The regulations focus on environmental protection, occupational safety, transportation standard, and international trade compliance. For example, environmental regulations limit emissions and require companies to prevent spills and pollutions. Safety regulations ensure that workers operate in secure environments, especially in high-risk areas like offshore platforms and refineries. And the international maritime regulations govern tanker operations and shipping safety standards. Compliance is essential not only to avoid illegal penalties, but also to ensure sustainable operations and protect company reputation. And logistics efficiency has a direct impact on the global energy prices. If transportation costs increase, fuel prices also increase. And if supply chains are disrupted, shortage can be occur, pushing prices even higher. So energy prices influence many other sectors, including transportation, manufacturing, agriculture, and electricity generation. For example, when oil prices rise, the transportation costs increase, which then raise the food prices and consumer goods prices. So therefore, efficient oil and gas logistics contributes to economic stability and growth to whole life cycle. And now we have arrived at the end of the video. So we have talked about several things such as what is oil and gas logistics, why is it so important, the transportation mode, the challenges that we have to face, the regulations, and many more. So in conclusions, the oil and gas logistics is far more than just transportation. It's a complex integrated system that connects the exploration sites to the end consumers or customers across the globe. So it involves the infrastructure, the technology, the risk, the management, regulatory compliance, and economic strategy. And without efficient logistics, global energy supply would be unstable, and the economies would suffer, and daily life would be disrupted. So therefore, logistics is not just about a support function, it's the critical pillar of the oil and gas industry. So that's all about oil and gas logistics. So see you in the next video. Bye.